o'clock, and then showers return overnight. And then for the weekend, showers mainly Saturday morning, then cloudy, still very windy, and could even get some sunny breaks for the Santa Claus parade on Sunday. Highs on the weekend near 8. Right now, it's mostly cloudy, windy, 5 degrees at Toronto Pearson. The guaranteed high, 7.
680 News Time, 8:44.
A Toronto man is set to blast into space today. Henry Wolfund is the CEO of Bayshore Capital and will be one of 6 people going up on Blue Origin space flight today. The company, owned by Amazon's Jeff Bezos. The launch is set for 10:30 this morning.
He talks with Richard Southern on today's Big Story podcast.
What any of the experienced astronauts tell me is look out the window, take in that view from the blackness of space at the curvature of the Earth. If you saw William Shatner's flight, when he came back, he was mesmerized. I think a lot of people take it as a negative, but what impacted him the most was the fragility of this planet that we all share. All of humanity has to preserve and protect the environment that we live within, this little dot, this speck of dust in the vastness of the universe.
You can listen to the full interview on the Big Story podcasts on the Seeker app or wherever you get your podcasts.
680 News Time, 8:45.
Hey everybody, Sam from Best Brand Appliance. I want to get back on here with some amazing news and positivity and let you know Best Brand Appliance is doing its part to get pricing down on the top luxury brands like Decor. Their Black Graphite appliances have been an absolute grand slam and at up to 20% off. It's one of those rare instances where we can all agree. Reminds me of my English Bulldog Biggie. Everybody loves him. He's 90% cookie dough. If you're thinking about Decor appliances, there's only Best Brand Appliance now in Toronto, Vaughan, and Oakville, Burlington.
Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling.
Warm up to winter savings with Michelin. Get up to a $100 Michelin prepaid MasterCard when you purchase a set of 4 Michelin tires between October 4th and December 20th. From tires to tune-ups, we won't be undersold. There's no better place to buy your Michelin tires than
Active Green and Rust.
Conditions apply. See store for details.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. 680 News Radio.
Gray and overcast this Friday morning. It is 5 degrees right now. Good morning. I'm Maria Costain.
I'm Paul Cook. Here are the top stories this Friday morning.
Swiftie Madness coming together with the Santa festivities. The second last and last Eras show presented by Rogers gets going tonight and tomorrow, then Sunday. Santa Claus is coming to town. Your full weekend rundown on citynews.ca. The Ford government looking to dodge legal action from cyclists who either get injured or die following an accident after the removal of 3 bike lanes. It was a surprise amendment to Bill 212, which was created in effort to combat gridlock. And coming up after sports,
There's still time to win a pair of Taylor Swift tickets for her final Eras Tour show in Toronto thanks to the 50/50 fortune in support of Food for Kids Ontario.
Time now for sports.
from Sportsnet 590 The Fan, Simon Bennett.
And Maria, the Raptors on back-to-back wins for the first time all year. The return of Scotty Barnes, he had 17 after missing 11 games with a fractured orbital bone. RJ Barrett on a tear, he had 31. Raptors got the win over the Timberwolves last night, 110-105. Next up, the NBA's best, Cleveland. That's on Sunday. NHL, Edmonton Oilers fell at home 5-3 to Minnesota. Dustin Wolf's Flames over the Rangers 3-2. Vegas beat Ottawa 3-2. Leafs off till Sunday against Utah. Cleveland Browns loving the snow. 2-8 before last night, but Nick Chubb got the late touchdown and the win. Steelers going down 24-19. And MVPs announced in baseball, both unanimous. LA Shohei Ohtani in the National League. The Yankees Aaron Judge in the AL. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime at sportsnet.ca.
680 News Time, 848.
Okay, judges, what's the verdict for the Black Friday competition?
Well, Appliance Canada not only launched with the lowest pricing of the season, but they stuck the landing with a big reveal. Exclusive offers they can only advertise in store and layer on top of national promotions. Looks like the competitors sprained themselves trying to keep up.
Hashtag epic savings at Appliance Canada during Black Friday. It's no contest. Visit any Appliance Canada location for details.
You're hurt and injuries have changed your life. You're not working, can't help your family, and feel like your life is slipping away. Hi, I'm David Himmelfarb, Himpro Managing Partner. Our team of highly rated lawyers has over 40 years of experience fighting insurance companies and winning major settlements for clients. Visit himpro.ca today to experience the Himpro advantage. That's himpro.ca. Himpro, serious results for serious injuries fast.
Himpro. 680 News Time, 8:49. Well, there's still time to win a pair of Taylor Swift tickets for her final Eras Tour show here in Toronto. 680's Eva Fragiscatos reports.
The 50-50 fortune in support of Food for Kids Ontario has an early bird prize perfect for the Swiftie in your life. 2 tickets to Saturday night's Toronto performance of the Eras Tour presented by Rogers.
It was the best show ever. My voice is going to be gone. I'm like so emotional.
I thought it was big. It was fun.
Tickets for this morning's draw can be purchased online until 9 this morning at foodforkids5050.ca or by texting money to 680-680. The winner will be contacted directly by a representative from the nonprofit organization. Tickets are $5 for $10, $25 for $25, $100 for $50, and 500 tickets for $100. The grand prize currently sits over $200,000. The draw for that will happen December 19th. I'm Eva Fragiscatos.
Coming up in 60 seconds, traffic and your long-range forecast heading into the weekend. 680 News Time, 8:50.
It's the News Radio Sustainability Report with Richard Detman.
Powered by Enbridge Sustain.
With winter fast approaching, it's important to get the most out of your home so you're warm during the season. Let's look at some sustainable tips. Smart thermostats. Smart thermostats provide an eco-friendly solution to controlling the temperature in your home. They can also allow for multi-room control, draft detection, and vacation settings to keep your pipes from freezing if you're away on vacation. They can also be programmed with eco-friendly settings that keep a home's heating and cooling set point at a comfortable temp and provide a perfect and efficient energy solution. All in all, a great and sustainable investment.
The News Radio Sustainability Report.
Powered by Enbridge Sustain.
For a limited time, save up to $1,000 on a featured SmartFlow system and get up to $3,000 in rebates. Terms and conditions apply. Go to EnbridgeSustainSmartFlow.com to learn more.
680 News Time, 8:51. Traffic and weather together on the ones, brought to you by Loblaws and the 680 Cruiser. Kyle Hawking.
So it's getting heavier on the westbound 401, approaching the 400 in the express. We have a stalled vehicle in the center lane. Just going to take an updated look at this. We do now have a tow on the scene, so it's lane 3 from the left or the second lane from the right. Actually, it looks like the 2 right lanes are now blocked off. I see an OPP cruiser through some of the vehicles that are passing by. So the 2 right lanes closed here, and it's slow on the west 401 with volume first, 412 to Salem, Victoria Park to Avenue Express and Collectors. And now it's busy from Kiel to approaching the 400, both in the express and Collectors. But the express lanes are the heavier option through there. Eastbound 401 just slow with volume of traffic, 427 to east of Kiel Express and Collectors, and from Leslie to the DVP, mainly in the Collectors. From the 680 Traffic Center, Craig Gear.
Stalled truck northbound 400 approaching the 407, moved off to the right lane or right shoulder, but MTO in the right lane. Delays from approaching Finch up to approaching the 407. That's your delay on the northbound 400. Southbound, you know what? A bit of volume still as you make your way through Major Mackenzie, just a touch slow through there. And that's about it on the southbound 400. Southbound 404 DVP is slow from south of Finch through to south of Lawrence. And approaching Eglinton. Going to have a look around here and see. It's a bit of a weird delay, but that's it. And then south of Don Mills towards Bayview Bloor, just a touch slow here, especially if you're exiting at that Bayview Bloor ramp. Getting onto the West Garner, slow about York Bay Young towards Jameson through the long-term construction, and Ford Drive to Trafalgar on the westbound QEW. Spotty Toronto bound here. Anywhere from, it looks like about Walker's line to third line on and off. Real heavy on the East Gardner from Parkside to east to Jameson. And northbound on the DVP is slow from from approaching Eglinton up to about York Mills, approaching the 401. Might have a brand new issue here on the eastbound 403. It could be a crash approaching 6 North. If you're through here, let me know. It might be, traffic spotters mentioning center lane blocked here with a collision. There we go. Delays from east of Maine. Discover more value than ever at Loblaws like Price Drop. They lower prices every 4 weeks so you can save more. Shop in store or online today. With the forecast, Jill Taylor.
Well, gusty, strong wind out of the north-northwest, so it feels cooler than the temperature indicates. It feels closer to +1 right now. The guaranteed high is 7 degrees. And we'll have some showers on and off through the day into the evening as well. 5 for the low. The weekend will feature showers Saturday morning, but generally cloudy and windy both days. Stronger wind, though, Saturday. Highs on the weekend near 8. And we could even get some sunshine for the Santa Claus parade. But overall, a mostly cloudy day. Right now, it's mostly cloudy, windy, 5 degrees at Toronto Pearson. The guaranteed high today, 7.
The extended forecast is brought to you by Frank Leo and Associates of RE/MAX. Frank Leo of RE/MAX has a multi-million-dollar marketing system to get your home sold. Guaranteed or Frank will buy it. Go to getleo.com and start packing with confidence.
Coming up at the top of the hour, the latest on a new amendment to the Ford government's controversial bike lane bill in efforts to protect themselves from any lawsuits brought on by injured cyclists. We'll have all these details and your weekend need to know coming up at 9 o'clock.
680 News Time, 8:54.
Desjardins Insurance cares a lot about their clients. In fact, it's packed with such a ginormous amount of vast and substantial care that's bursting with even more whoppingly humongous and colossal care. You might be a little surprised when we tell you that all of that care fits in the palm of your hand. With the Desjardins Insurance mobile app, you'll get a big hand with 24/7 paper-free access to all of your home and auto policies, including your digital pink slip. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care.
This holiday season, feel good and win cash.
Play the 680 News Radio 50/50 Fortune in support of Food for Kids Ontario.
Buying tickets helps hungry children in our community, just in time for the holidays.
The more we raise, the more you could win.
The current take-home prize is over $150,000.
Plus, get your tickets by Friday morning, and you could win tickets to see Taylor Swift The Eras Tour at Rogers Centre this Saturday night, courtesy of Rogers.
To play, text MONEY to 680-680 to get the link directly to your phone, or visit foodforkids5050.ca.
Feed the kids, and you can win.
The 680 News Radio 50/50 Fortune in support of Food for Kids Ontario. Proudly presented by 680 News Radio Toronto.
Standard text rates may apply. Must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Lottery license RAF 1428141.
Ontario's finance minister will be in Uxbridge later today. Peter Bethlenfalvy will be joined by Paul Calandra, the Minister of Municipal Affairs, and Lisa Thompson, the Minister of Rural Affairs. The announcement is planned for 1 o'clock this afternoon. It's not clear what they are expected to speak about. Well, shoppers were spending their cash in September with an increase in Canadian retail sales. We'll have all these details in business in 60 seconds.
680 News Time, 8:56.
It's time to take a trip to Markham. Just 20 minutes from downtown Toronto, Markham has one of the most exciting dining scenes in the region. From Michelin-recommended spots to cozy local favorites, every spot offers a unique flavor of this vibrant city. Markham's culinary scene is a food lover's dream. So what are you waiting for? Plan your trip today at visitmarkham.ca, and your food adventure awaits.
Louis Carnavelli here, president of Northern Financial Group, where our pooled company health and dental plans are still $55 a month per employee. If you're paying more than $55 a month, bring us your rates. We'll beat them. We will match or even improve your current health and dental plan and save you money long term. Our 37 years of experience have allowed us to grow our pool of thousands of members for greater purchasing power, which means lower rates for the long term. Learn more at northernfinancialgroup.ca.
Now the Daily Dynamic Funds Market Minute live with our senior business analyst. Here's Mike Apple.
Hey, Maria. Good morning. We're looking at a little bit of a rebound for Canadian retail spending for the month of September and the third quarter overall. This is another potentially positive signal on the state of the economy and another reason why the Bank of Canada next month will likely just cut interest rates 1/4%, not 50 basis points. The retail sales for the month of September jumped by 0.4%. And if you take out auto sales were a little weak, and the overall numbers for retail sales up by close to 1%, other than the car and truck sector. Third quarter numbers look good as well, so a little bit of resilience, we'll say, for the Canadian economy, at least when it comes to consumer spending. The new home price index for last month did show some price declines. We've been talking about the slowdown in new home sales, despite the fact that the Bank of Canada has cut interest rates 4 times, likely to do so again next month. The new home price index, according to StatsCan, down by 0.4% for October. Markets this morning are steady. The TSX hit a record yesterday. It was up 354 at 25,390. Bitcoin early this morning was within $500 of 100,000. Right now it's at 97,800. Our dollar steady at 71.5 cents U.S. At the Business Center, I'm Mike Apple.
Markets always present challenges. Good advice and active management turn challenges into opportunities. Visit dynamic.ca/advice to learn more.
If it's a flat or a squeal, a wobble or peel, your tread's worn down or you need a new wheel, wherever you go, you can get a pro at Tread Experts.
From Toyo's Observe Winter Tires to the Celsius and Open Country lines of all-weather tires, Toyo has a cold weather solution for you. Toyo Tires, making tires for your road. Find a Toyo Tread Experts dealer near you at treadexperts.ca/locations.
From tires to auto repair, we're always there. TreadExperts.ca.
It's finally here. Vision's Electronics' legendary Black Friday sale starts now. With store-wide savings up to 85%. TVs, home audio, appliances and headphones, car audio to car starters, laptops, and more. All your favorite brands are on sale at the lowest prices in Canada guaranteed. And you'll save even more when you pick up in store. Plus, take up to 3 years to pay interest-free. Vision's Electronics' legendary Black Friday sale starts now. See all the deals at visions.ca.
Now, regional weather conditions for Kidney Car. Make that old car one less thing on your mind. Donate it to Kidney Car. You'll be funding research and services for kidney patients in Canada. Donate at kidneycar.ca.
In Whitby this hour, 4 degrees, partly cloudy over there. Downtown Toronto, 5 degrees, overcast sky, feels like 1. 680 News Time, 9 o'clock.
Number 1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. 680 News Radio, Toronto.
It's Friday, November 22nd. Good morning. I'm Paul Cook.
For Catherine Jeté, I'm Maria Castaigne. Here's what's making news right now.
When worlds collide.
Santa baby.
Welcome to the last weekend of the Taylor Swift Eras Tour in Toronto. Then she hands it off to Santa and the big parade on Sunday.
Bullets fly near Bathurst and Steeles, where a man suffers life-threatening gunshot wounds. His assailant remains at large.
A surprise bill amendment is protecting the Ford government from lawsuits if cyclists are hurt on Toronto's streets once bike lanes are removed. Critics are calling the decision troubling.
Oh, look, the Raptors on a winning streak. That's 2 in a row after they beat Minnesota last night, and the Leafs prep for Utah on Sunday. Sports at 15.
Canada Post mired in a strike, releasing third quarter results, showing a more than $300 million quarterly loss. Bay Street comes into the day at a record high for the TSX. Business at 26.
680 News Time, 9:01.
Traffic and weather together on the ones, brought to you by the William Ashley Warehouse sale and the 680 traffic cruiser Kyle Hocking.
We've now ridded ourselves of problems on the westbound 401 approaching the 400 Express. Briefly, they did have the 2 right lanes blocked for just a few minutes, but now it's completely cleared, the stalled vehicle. And all crews slow on the west 401 delays from the 412 to Salem, then west of Warden to Avenue Express and Collectors. And it does get heavy from Keele to the 400 Express and Collectors. That should thin out a little bit now that the problem's gone. Eastbound 401 with volume 427 to east of Keele Express and Collectors. Busy between Leslie and the DVP ramps, both in the Express and Collector lanes, and then through Kennedy in the collectors. From the 680 Traffic Center, Craig Gear.
So this crash on the eastbound 403 approaching 6 North, right in the center lane, last checked, it has not moved. Hopefully it will soon. Delays heavier, getting worse from Aberdeen towards 6 North. The good news, the rest of the stuff on my screen is gone. That pony dump truck stalled on the South DVP at Eglinton. Out of here. Delays from south of Finch to Eglinton, though. And on the northbound 400, the stalled vehicle approaching the 407's all gone now, too. Delays from approaching Finch. Save big at the William Ashley Warehouse sale featuring Kitchen Stuff Plus now through November 24th at a new location, 123 Great Gulf Drive in Vaughan. With the forecast, Jill Taylor.
On and off showers for us today. Strong wind. Right now, that wind is gusting to about 40 kilometers per hour out of the north-northwest. It's mostly cloudy, 5 degrees at Toronto Pearson. The guaranteed high today, 7.
680 News Time, 9:03.
They both bring a lot of joy to millions of people around the planet. And both are here in the 6 this weekend. Taylor Swift for Eras Tour Concerts 5 and 6 at Rogers Centre tonight and tomorrow night, and the jolly old elf himself for the Santa Claus Parade on Sunday.
680's Jamie Pulfer is here live with your Swiftie St. Nick mashup. Jamie.
Yeah, I sure do, Maria. It is definitely a situation of worlds colliding here.
Santa baby, so
Santa and Taylor Swift, her final 2 Eras Tour shows in the city, presented by Rogers, happening tonight and tomorrow at Rogers Centre. Heads up, there's going to be showers between 4 and 6 tonight. 680 News Radio will also have concert commute traffic on the 9s starting at 5:09 p.m. until midnight. And then what's more iconic than leaving town and handing the reins over to Santa?
Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. You are bigger than the whole sky.
The 120th Santa Claus Parade in the city on Sunday. Dry but windy for the parade, high of 8 degrees, starting at Christie Pitts at 12:30, ending at St. Lawrence Market. That full route is at toronto.citynews.ca. Also in the city.
Yeah, you're going to see Santa today.
Comedian Sebastian Maniscalco brings his tour to Scotiabank Arena tonight and tomorrow. Reporting live, I'm Jamie Pulfer.
680 News Time 9:04. Toronto bylaw officers are cracking down on price gouging during the Eras concerts. They issued more than 250 tickets around Rogers Centre during Taylor Swift's first 3 shows. City's Alan Carter reports nearly 100 of them have been issued to operators of commercial parking lots.
Toronto bylaw officers have been handing out tickets for infractions during Taylor Swift concert nights, and for drivers looking for a spot to park, keep an eye out for posted signs with the price.
They need to post the times and the prices that they're charging. And what's happening is some of these operators are taking the opportunity to increase the prices in excess of what's posted.
The city also handed out fines to taxi drivers and rideshare drivers for various offenses, like not displaying their company name. And with big crowds in the downtown core, others like food truck operators, peddlers, and buskers also found themselves with tickets.
Count on getting caught if you are gouging.
Biggest bylaw fine handed out over the last weekend was $1,000 to a rideshare driver for trying to solicit customers outside of their vehicle.
680 News Time, 9:06. A man is fighting for his life in hospital after a shooting in North York. It happened around 8:30 last night in the area of Sunnycrest and Rockford Roads. That's near Bathurst and Steeles. Paramedics say the victim was rushed to hospital with critical injuries. No suspect information has been released.
You're listening to 680 News Radio. China telling the incoming Trump administration those planned tariff hikes are going to backfire. Mike Heppel reports from the 680 Business Center.
China's vice commerce minister is saying what numerous economists are also warning, that higher tariffs on Chinese exports will simply lead to increasing prices paid by consumers and stoke inflation. While China's government says it can manage to weather the impact of such external shocks, U.S. President Donald Trump's plan to impose a 60% tariff on imports from China is being touted as a way to solve the U.S. trade deficits. China's counterpoint is that it will hurt all of the American companies who currently have operations in the country, adding costs loss if they're forced to shift production. The Chinese Commerce Minister says they're willing to talk with the U.S. on a basis of mutual respect for the benefit of both countries. At the Business Center, I'm Mike Uppel.
680 News Time, 9:07. At Queen's Park, opposition MPPs are slamming changes to a controversial bike lane bill, saying the amendments will create legal protections for the Ford government if cyclists are injured or killed on Toronto streets after the lanes are removed. 680's Enrique Amaturo has the story.
NDP MPP Jessica Bell is calling the changes concerning, saying it will make it more dangerous for cyclists to get around the city. The 11-page amendment to Bill 212 was put forward during a committee meeting on Thursday, stating that claims from collisions between motor vehicles, cyclists, and pedestrians are not claims of negligence. Cyclists held a ghost ride to Queen's Park last night in protest.
We're gathered here today to remember 2 cyclists killed this month.
The transportation minister says bike lane removal will reduce traffic gridlock. Bell says the bill clearly states the Ford government will get rid of bike lanes on Bloor, Yonge, and University, and municipalities won't necessarily get reimbursed for their removal. I'm Enrique Amaturo.
You're listening to 680 News Radio. Well, despite their record, the Raptors have been fun to watch, and they now have wins to show for it, finally. 680 Simon Bennett has more on the return last night of Scotty Barnes at Scotiabank Arena.
The highlight for many Raptors fans, the new City Era Edition court and jersey. Lots of purple on the floor while the Vince Carter-inspired Raptors logo was featured prominently. It was also the return of Scotty Barnes, who missed 11 games with a fractured orbital bone. Wearing goggles to protect his eye, the Raptors got the win.
Spins, fires, got the friendly roll down Main Street. Lobs it to a cutting Barrett, who flushes it down.
Barnes with 17, RJ Barrett with 31. The Raptors on back-to-back wins for the first time this season. They beat Minnesota 110-105. Here's Scotty.
Felt in great shape thanks to the training staff and the work that they put in. So, I felt great tonight.
Next up, a trip to first place Cleveland on Sunday. I'm Simon Bennett.
680 News Time, 9:09.
How do you, Subway holiday lover?
I'm dreaming of a turkey sub.
Well, hold on to your chestnuts for Subway's new festive faves meal. A 6-inch turkey sub with cranberry Dijon, crispy potato rings, and 2 red velvet cookies.
Ooh, jingle my bells.
No, thank you. But all this delicious and fixins for just $8.99.
Yum. Maybe some sugar plums.
No idea what that is. The new festive faves meal. A merry $8.99. Only at Subway. At participating Canadian restaurants. Extras edition. Terms and conditions apply.
By the fireplace.
Coming up in 60 seconds, traffic and weather together on the ones, including a stalled vehicle westbound 401 Express west of Bayview.
680 News Time, 9:10.
So, get this. The Ontario Liberals elected Bonnie Crombie as their new leader.
Bonnie who?
I just sent you her profile. Her first act as leader, asking donors for $1 million for her salary.
That's excessive. She's a big carbon tax supporter.
Oh, yeah. Check out her record as mayor.
Oh, get out of here. She even increased taxes in this economy.
Yeah, higher taxes, carbon taxes. She sounds expensive.
Bonnie Crombie and the Ontario Liberals.
They just don't get it. That'll cost you.
A message from the Ontario PC Party.
Royal Lighting has teamed up with famous DVI lighting designs to save you an additional 15 to 30% off our everyday low prices on over 1,000 styles. A genuine sale by Royal Lighting offering unmatched savings on chandeliers, pendants, flushes, and outdoor lights from DVI Lighting at extra savings of 15 to 30% off. And soon, Royal Lighting, 1549 Avenue Road north of Lawrence or royallighting.com.
Time, 9:11.
Traffic and weather together on the ones, brought to you by Loblaws and the 680 traffic cruiser, Kyle Hawking.
Oh, we did have a brief issue on the westbound 401 west of Bayview in the Express. A stalled vehicle has been dealt with, so crews have cleared that scene. It is slow 412 to Salem, and then from Victoria Park to west of Bayview in the Express lanes through to Avenue Road if you're in the collectors. Also volume from Kiel to Islington, alternately Express and collectors. It's improving through there after we had earlier problems near the 400. Eastbound 401 is busy 427 to east of Kiel, Express and collector lanes, and bunches up a little from Leslie toward the DVP and 404 ramps in the Express and collectors. From the 680 Traffic Center, Craig Gear.
We've got a change to the crash on the eastbound 403 thanks to the traffic spotter at star 680. Appreciate all your calls anytime. Approaching 6 North It's been moved off to the right lane. MTO didn't let us know. You did at star 680. Thanks so much. Delays about 6 south to east of the link, and then that's really spotty. It's really not bad. It gets bad from about just east of the link towards 6 north, and it's thanks to the crash. Toronto-bound QEW, touch slow through third line. Garner, heavy from Parkside to east to Jameson. Northbound DVP, slow Eglinton up to York Mills. Problems on the southbound side, if you missed it last report, are gone. So delays have kind of gone back to normal. About south of Finch, approaching Shepherd through to south of Lawrence. Westbound Garner slow thanks to the construction from approaching Spadina towards Jameson. And still busy on that westbound QEW from Ford Drive to Trafalgar. Discover more value at Loblaws with Fresh Promise. If their produce is not fresh, it's free. Shop now. Conditions apply. See in store for details. With the forecast, Jill Taylor.
It feels closer to the freezing mark right now with that strong wind. It's out of the north-northwest. On and off showers today. 7, the guaranteed high. 5 for the low. And for the weekend, some showers mainly Saturday morning. Most of the weekend should be dry, and highs about 8 degrees. Could even get some sunny breaks Sunday for the Santa Claus parade. Right now, mostly cloudy. 5 degrees at Toronto Pearson. The wind out of the north-northwest, quite strong. The guaranteed high, 7.
680 News Time, 9:13.
$75 million is up for grabs in tonight's Lotto Max draw. The OLG says so far 9 of the 10 Lotto Max jackpots won this year have been claimed in this province, reaching a total of $465 million in jackpot prizing, and they're hoping the winning streak continues as we head into the holiday season.
Along with tonight's jackpot, there are an estimated 12 Max Millions to be won. Customers can purchase their tickets online at olg.ca or at an unauthorized retailer until 10:30 this evening.
Still ahead on News Radio Toronto.
The 50-50 fortune in support of Food for Kids Ontario has drawn the winner for the 2 Taylor Swift tickets.
680 News Time, 9:13.
Interest rates have finally started coming down for the first time in 4 years. Now is the time to use a Flexi line from Capital Direct to take control of your plans and finances and make it happen. Maybe it's that renovation you've been thinking about or investing in a new property. If you could borrow $80,000, $280,000, or even $2.8 million, how would you invest in yourself, your life, and your future? Find out why Canadians have been trusting Capital Direct for decades. Call Capital Direct today at 1-800-NEW-CAPITAL.
CapitalDirect.ca. Oh, Maya. She loves being cool. 21 degrees is her favorite number. God, she's the coolest, especially at night. So I raised the temp at 10 p.m. because she gets chilly when she sleeps. Maya loves using less energy, and I love Maya. We're basically besties.
With SmartFlow from Enbridge Sustain, you won't have to think about your HVAC, but it will always be thinking of you. With smart controls and zero upfront costs. Visit EnbridgeSustainSmartFlow.com to learn more.
Toronto's trusted news. 680 News Radio.
Yes, it is Friday. Cloudy, windy day on the way for the GTA with off and on showers. Our guaranteed high 7. Good morning. I'm Paul Cook.
And I'm Maria Costain. Here are the top stories right now.
Tay-Tay, sleighs, and Santa on a sleigh, both in Toronto this weekend. The last of Taylor Swift's 6 sold-out Rogers Centre Eras Tour concert goes tonight and tomorrow night, and St. Nick takes over downtown streets Sunday for the 120th Santa Claus Parade. It'll be dry but windy with temperatures around 8. Full parade route up at toronto.citynews.ca, along with other weekend events. Police are looking for the shooter after last night's gunfire in the Bathurst and Steeles area, where a man suffered life-threatening bullet wounds. And the Ford government amends the bike lane bill to shield it from lawsuits if cyclists are injured or killed on city streets where the protected routes have been removed. Still ahead on 680 News Radio, an update on the hunt for the York Region rock thrower.
680 News Time, 9:15.
Time now for sports from Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Simon Bennett.
And Paul, the Toronto Raptors on their first winning streak of the year. Back-to-back victories after they beat Minnesota. Scotty Barnes with 17 in his return to the lineup. He hadn't played since late October with a fractured orbital bone. RJ Barrett led with 31 with the win. 110-105. Can he give Cleveland a run on Sunday? Now, if you're looking for some hoops tonight, hey, Coach Darko.
I invite our fans to come and see 905 game. You're going to see our whole roster coming over there to support their guys.
It's Raptors 905's home opener. opener at Paramount, 7:30 against Long Island tonight. Just 2 games this evening in the NHL, including Sabres Ducks and Sportsnet at 10. We'll see if there's any updates from the Maple Leafs injury list today. Maybe a return date for Austin Matthews. Who knows? They don't play until Sunday against Utah. Tonight at 7 is Major League Baseball's deadline to non-tender players, especially, basically means walking away from those who are arbitration eligible. The Toronto Sun reports that might be being considered with closer Jordan Romano, who was hoped most of this year and had surgery on his elbow. If they do it, he would enter free agency a year early. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime at sportsnet.ca.
680 News Time, 9:17.
And now, the Home and Auto Report, powered by Desjardins Insurance.
Fall is here, and that usually means we can count on some pretty significant fall storms to roll through. So let's talk about how we can prevent water from getting into your house in case of a big fall rain event. Clean your gutters. This is so important. When your gutters are full of leaves, they can block your downspouts. Blocked spouts can cause pooling of water in your troughs, which usually means water getting into places that you don't want it to. Check the seals around your windows and doors. Take some time to check your doors and windows and make sure there aren't any glaring issues with caulking or framing. Even the slightest crack can lead to big water problems in your home. Remember, water follows the quickest, easiest path, so keep on top of things.
The Home and Auto Report, powered by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care today. Insurance recommends using caution and consulting an expert prior to undertaking the activities. Desjardins Insurance cannot be held liable for reliance on these tips.
680 News Time, 9:18.
Provincial police are once again appealing for information after they say large rocks were intentionally thrown at vehicles on Highway 48 in Markham. They say they've noticed the disturbing pattern since September 20th.
The Ontario Provincial Police has received 11 reports of rocks being intentionally thrown at vehicles in the Markham area. Unfortunately, one of these incidents caused a severe collision, leaving 2 individuals with life-threatening injuries. One has since recovered, and 1 victim remains in hospital.
York police have also identified 9 other incidents. Investigators believe a light or dark-colored SUV is involved. Dashcam footage from one of the incidents was released earlier this month, as well as a map of some of the spots where rocks were reportedly thrown. Anyone with information is asked to contact the OPP. You're listening to 680 News Radio. The province is set to get a major boost from the federal government to expand existing food programs in schools. The Toronto Star reports Ontario will receive more than $108 million from the feds, and this will help feed an additional 160,000 children per day before the end of the school year. City's Karen Siolan has a preview of the funding announcement.
The funding is set to be unveiled today as Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is expected to announce that Ontario will become the 3rd province to sign on to the National School Nutrition Program after Manitoba and Newfoundland and Labrador. Now, the Star reports that the funding will go towards the province's existing school nutrition and First Nations school nutrition programs. It'll cover 3 years, and it will reportedly cover students in 75% of the province's schools. Now, the funding is coming from a national program that was announced by the Trudeau government back in April ahead of this year's budget, and the minister has told the Star that meals will be provided through more than 13 agencies to schools across the province over the next 3 years.
Suds say this means close to 1 million children in this province will have access to school food before summer break. Coming up in 60 seconds, traffic and weather together on the ones, including the Santa Claus Parade forecast.
680 News Time, 9:20.
Pam, with all of the challenges these days, it seems that this year our Black Friday sale is more important than ever.
Yes, Steve, we're optimistic moving forward, and reliable friends like the Chesterfield Shop are where you'll find the best selection and specials anywhere.
So visit any of our 6 great locations and you'll have one less challenge to worry about this holiday season.
Chesterfield Shop, your leather superstar.
We've started our Black Friday sale early this year. Come in for great deals today.
Breaking Lotto Max Dream News. With Friday's Lotto Max jackpot at an estimated $75 million, plus an estimated 12 Max Millions. Maxed out dreams are rapidly popping up across the country, turning pools into lakefront cottages, boats into super yachts, decks into rooftop spas. It's dreaming like we've never dreamed before. Friday's Lotto Max jackpot is an estimated $75 million, plus an estimated 12 Max Millions. Why dream to the min when you can dream to the max?
News Time, 9:20. 21.
Traffic and weather together on the ones brought to you by the Wizard of Oz and the 680 traffic cruiser Kyle Hocking.
So volume returning to the way it was on the westbound 401. We had an issue west of Bayview Express recently clear. Volume is from basically Victoria Park to west of Avenue Road. Express A and collectors once again. Also should back up and mention that if you're leaving Durham region on the ramp to Westney, we do have the left lane blocked due to a stalled vehicle. It looks like it's right near the end of the ramp. It's not causing too much of a headache. So just keep an eye out as you travel off the highway if you're exiting onto the ramp to Westney. That delay between Victoria Park and Avenue Express and collectors, and then a little more volume 400 collectors to Dixon. Eastbound 401 is slow from east of the 427 to east of Keel. Express A and collectors. Volume's been in place pretty well all morning. And then from Leslie toward the DVP and 404 ramps, Express A and collectors. From the 680 Traffic Center, Craig Gear.
We have this problem on the eastbound 403. It's a crash. Debris in the center lane. The crash has been moved into the right lane. Approaching 6 North is where it is. So after that, it's good, but delays from east of the Lincoln Alexander, and it's pretty slow. It's a pretty slow crawl here on the eastbound 403. Toronto-bound QBW is great. The Gardner slow, Parkside to east of Jameson. Northbound DVP slow, approaching Lawrence up to York Mills. Just a bit of a delay here as you come up to the 401, and southbound delays south of Finch to south of Lawrence, with the West Gardner slow approaching Spadina towards Jameson, and Ford Drive to Trafalgar delays on the westbound QBW. The Ross Petty Panto is back. You and your family are invited to a holiday musical extravaganza. Enjoy the Wizard of Oz like you've never seen it before. Tickets at CanadianStage.com. With the forecast, Jill Taylor.
Well, you'll need the rain gear at times today. We've had some on and off showers through the morning. We'll get another round around the noon hour, and then another round around 4 until about 6 in the evening, and then more overnight. So it's just kind of on and off. This low just keeps on spinning. 7 the guaranteed high, and a strong wind today out of the north. 5 for the low. And for the weekend, highs about 8 degrees. We'll get some showers mainly Saturday morning. Most of the weekend should be dry, and may even get some sunny breaks for the Santa Claus parade on Sunday. It's windy, though, for especially Saturday. Right now, we've got a mostly cloudy sky, 5 degrees. The wind out of the north-northwest, 32 kilometers per hour. It feels closer to 0. The guaranteed high today, 7.
And because Jill made the 680 News Radio weather guarantee yesterday, our jackpot increases to $3,300.
Coming up at 9:30, big weekend in the 6. Taylor Swift tonight and tomorrow night. Santa on Sunday. Whether you're looking to avoid it or enjoy it, news you can use straight ahead.
680 News Time, 9:24.
Get early access to Black Friday prices now at The Brick. And on Friday, November 22nd, for one day only, we're releasing even more Black Friday deals. Get 65% off sofas when you buy the matching love seat or chair. Up to 30% off sectionals and recliners. Up to 30% off bedroom, dining, and home entertainment furniture. Plus, buy more, save more. Get up to an extra $300 off major kitchen appliances. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Toronto's trusted news.
Sent directly to you.
Sign up for the 680 News Radio Be the First to Know newsletter. Get the GTA's latest news stories, plus weather and details on your favorite contests, like the 680 News Radio Weather Guarantee.
Delivered right to your inbox, twice weekdays.
The 680 News Radio Be the First to Know newsletter.
Brought to you by Diamond and Diamond Lawyers.
Subscribe now at toronto.citynews.ca/newsletters. And always be the first to know.
The 680 News Radio 50/50 fortune in support of Food for Kids Ontario has drawn the winner of the Taylor Swift tickets. 680's Eva Fragiscatos has more.
It's the show every Swiftie in the city is raving about.
It genuinely was the best concert I've ever been to.
It's like 3.5 hours nonstop of just Taylor singing her face off, dancing her face off.
And now Mike Gatley will have 2 seats to the Eras Tour presented by Rogers after winning the 50/50 fortune in support of Food for Kids Ontario. He spoke with Roz and Mocha this morning at Kiss 92.5.
Bro, I just said shut the door.
Yes.
No, you open the door.
Shut the door.
You open the door.
Mike, you won. How do I get the tickets? Okay, bro, okay.
My guy,
we'll take care of all of that.
If you missed out on this prize, there are still more early bird prizes to be won, including Leafs and Jays tickets and tickets to Coldplay at Rogers Stadium next year. You can buy tickets online at foodforkids5050.ca or by texting money to 680-680. There's also the grand prize, which is currently sitting at over $230,000. That draw will happen on December 19th. I'm Eva Fragiscatos.
Still ahead, it sounds like the Bank of Canada's interest rate cuts are working to boost consumer spending. Business in 60 seconds. 680 News Time, 9:26.
This portion of 680 News Radio is brought to you by Search Kings.
Search Kings is saying out loud what many small business owners are thinking. What good is a digital plan and all of its buzzwords if it doesn't make the phones buzz at your business? Discover instead what thousands of Canadian business owners already know. The phone rings with Search Kings. And with Call Intelligence, evaluating, summarizing, and scoring every incoming call, you never have to say, I wonder what's working. Do you want to stand out where your customers are online? Switch to Search Kings.
Black Friday is on now at SportCheck. Save up to 60% on winter jackets, shoes, equipment, electronics, and more from the brands you love. See in store or sportcheck.ca for more details. Say it with sport this holiday season.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Lopez, the one from Toronto. But new More Rewards still treats me like a star. I earn points on everything I love at Metro and Food Basics. More Rewards, made for everyone, even me, Jennifer Lopez. Join today and save.
Now the Market Minute with our senior business analyst, Mike Eppel. What are we expecting today, Mike?
We're expecting a pretty good start here, Paul. The TSX riding a streak of gains and hit a record at the close yesterday, so we'll see if we build on that. Those interest rate cuts by the Bank of Canada, 4 so far, appear to be working when it comes to spurring on consumer spending. Retail sales rose for the 4th month in a row in September, longest growth streak since early 2022. Now, you take out the auto sector. Auto sales were down a little bit, and overall retail spending otherwise was pretty good. The Bank of Canada set to announce policy again December 11th, likely that they're going to go 25 basis points on the next interest rate reduction. Just before the bell here, we've got the Dow futures up just 10 points, Bitcoin down 300, pulling back from 100 grand at 97,700. Our dollar steady at 71.5 cents U.S. At the Business Center, I'm Mike Eppel.
At Dynamic Funds, we believe that investment performance matters. Invest with advice. Visit dynamic.ca/advice to learn more.
When you want the best in home lighting, Lando Lighting is always the perfect choice. In fact, Lando only offers lighting. It's what they specialize in. With an enormous showroom, they offer fixtures for every space and every taste. Backed by the service and advice of genuine lighting experts. Find the right lighting for every home and office from the people who do just that. It's where the designers shop. For the best prices in the city and expert advice, go to 210 Clarence Street, Brampton.
Oh, Maya. Maya. She loves being cool. 21 degrees is her favorite number. God, she's the coolest, especially at night. So I raised the temp at 10 p.m. because she gets chilly when she sleeps. Maya loves using less energy, and I love Maya. We're basically besties.
With SmartFlow from Enbridge Sustain, you won't have to think about your HVAC, but it will always be thinking of you. With smart controls and zero upfront costs. Visit EnbridgeSustainSmartFlow.com to learn more.
If you're heading to the Taylor Swift concert today, heads up for showers. Should be dry Saturday night, though, and there's only a small chance for showers on Saturday night. And it looks to be dry but windy for the Santa Claus parade here in Toronto on Sunday. The midday show's next with Irene Precklett and John Leatherby. Have a great weekend. I'm Paul Cook.
I'm Maria Costain. 680 News Time coming up at the Double Tones, 9:30.
Number 1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. 680 News Radio, Toronto.
Good morning. This is Friday, November 22nd. I'm Irene Precklett.
And I'm John Leatherby. Here's what's making news this hour.
Guess who else is coming to Toronto?
Who are you?
I'm Santa Claus.
The 120th parade this weekend and the final Taylor Swift shows at Rogers Centre. We have everything you need to know. It's that time of year again. Police across Ontario launching the festive ride campaign targeting impaired drivers.
Toronto police say a man's in critical condition after a shooting in North York.
And not all hope is lost. There still is a chance to win tickets to see Taylor Swift in Toronto.
It's the call before the weekend storm. The Raptors in back-to-back wins after beating Minnesota last night. The Leafs don't play till Sunday. Do we get an injury update today? Sports at 45.
680 News Time, exactly 9:31.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Craig Gear.
This report is brought to you by Don Valley North Toyota. Crash on the East 403 approaching 6 North. It's been moved off to the right lane, delays from east of the Lincoln Alexander, and then problems on the westbound 401 ramp to Westney in the left lane. Delays 412 to Salem, Victoria Park to Avenue Road, 400 in the Collectors to Dixon. So a bit of a trick is to get into the Express as you approach the 400. Get out of the Collectors, use that transfer, and then you'll have a better ride. For now, eastbound 401 delays east of the 427 to east of Kiel, and then Leslie to the DVP Express and Collectors. South 404 DVP slow south of Finch to south of Lawrence. Everything's looking a little better with every passing second, and then westbound Gardner slow approaching Spadina to Jameson, and QEW West still busy from Ford Drive to Trafalgar. It's time to Toyota at Don Valley North Toyota, and time to Tundra with a lease rate as low as 2.39%. Get an instant cash offer for your car today. Visit DonValleyNorthToyota.com. With the forecast, Jill Taylor.
Cloudy with on and off showers today, strong gusty wind. It's out of the north, so it'll feel cooler than the temperature indicates. A guaranteed high 7 degrees. More showers after midnight, 5 for the low, and some showers at times for Saturday. Should be dry, though, Sunday. For today, the guaranteed high, 7.
Right now, it's overcast in downtown Toronto, 5 degrees. 5 degrees as well at Pearson. 6:80 news time is 9:32.
It's the weekend of the S in Toronto, as in Swift, Santa, and Sebastian. No shortage of fun for just about everyone, unless you're another S name, as in Scrooge.
Well, 680's Jamie Pulver's breaking down all the fun, joins us with everything you need to know.
Which of the big S's has their very own parade?
Who are you? I'm Santa Claus.
Santa takes the spotlight. The 120th parade hits Toronto streets on Sunday. A dry and windy forecast, high of 8 degrees. It starts at Christie Pitts at 12:30, ends at St. Lawrence Market. The route is at toronto.citynews.ca. And Santa is going to be tapped in by Taylor Swift, who's been spreading her own sparkle-fueled joy in the city.
Best believe I'm still bejeweled.
Tonight and tomorrow are her final 2 Eras Tour shows in the city, presented by Rogers. There will be showers starting before the gates open at Rogers Centre between 4 and 6 p.m. 680 News Radio will have concert commute traffic on the 9s starting at 5:09 p.m. until midnight. And at Scotiabank Arena,
20 years ago, your doorbell rang. That was a happy moment in your house.
Sebastian Maniscalco is here with his new comedy tour tonight and tomorrow. I'm Jamie Pulver. Well, 'tis the season. The Festive Ride campaign launches across Ontario today. Local police forces and OPP will be conducting more roadside checks, looking for impaired driving and improper use of seatbelts. Officers are also using Festive Ride to remind you to call 911 if you see a suspected impaired driver.
680 news time is 9:34. There have been some changes to the province's controversial bike lane bill, and the changes are causing some concern. 680's Enrique Amaturo explains.
Among the changes to Bill 212 is that claims from collisions between drivers, cyclists, or pedestrians are not claims of negligence. NDP MPP Jessica Bell says that means the Conservatives are removing themselves from any future responsibility if a cyclist is hurt or killed on Toronto streets. The surprise amendments were put forward during a committee meeting on Thursday. The transportation minister says bike lane removal will reduce congestion, but Bell says it won't address traffic issues.
It looks like the government is giving themselves the power to take out the bike lanes themselves. It looks like the government won't necessarily reimburse municipalities for all their costs.
A city staff report pegged the removal cost at upwards of $48 million. Premier Doug Ford denied that price tag without giving an exact number. I'm Enrique Amaturo.
The Prime Minister has another announcement happening in the GTA today, just a day after announcing a 2-month GST sales tax holiday. 680's Mike Eppel has the details.
An additional $108 million of federal funding will go into Ontario's existing student nutrition program. The Toronto Star is reporting that that'll expand the coverage for 3 years, feeding an extra 160,000 kids per day before the end of the school year, with the province becoming the third to sign on to the National School Food Program after Newfoundland and Manitoba inked deals earlier. Federal Families, Children and Social Development Minister Jenna Sudds telling the Star the funding will go to Ontario's existing student nutrition and First Nations student nutrition program, and that'll cover close to 1 million Ontario kids. According to the Daily Bread Food Bank, more than 100,000 children across 220 schools in the city do not have access to good food, and more than 1 in 10 people in the city rely on food banks to eat. At the Business Center, I'm Mike Eppel.
680 news time is 9:36. A man's in critical condition after being shot shot in North York. This happened about 8:30 last night near Steeles and Bathurst. Toronto police say the man was found with gunshot wounds and then taken to hospital. So far, no other details have been released.
A man is in hospital with serious injuries after being hit by a vehicle in Little Portugal. Toronto paramedics say it happened near Gladstone Avenue in Dundas West around 3:30 this morning. There's no word on whether the driver involved remain on the scene or whether any charges will be laid.
The verdict in Pat King's trial is set to be handed down this morning. King was one of the key organizers of the so-called Freedom Convoy protest that took to Ottawa streets back in 2022. King facing multiple charges, including mischief, intimidation, and counseling others to commit crimes. If convicted, King could face up to 10 years in prison.
Today is National Housing Day, and the City of Toronto says it's marking the occasion with the new affordable housing project. Today, 26 new affordable homes will open at Riverdale Cooperative Houses, and the city also addressing another housing issue, the vacant home tax. There will be vacant home tax declaration drop-in sessions. They run until 3 this afternoon across the city, including at City Hall and the North York Civic Centre.
Well, Ontario municipalities who rely upon the OPP for policing say they're facing a significant price increase for the service without warning or any explanation. Mayors in Collingwood and Essex say the bills for 2025 are more than 30% higher in previous years. At least one municipality says its bill was more than double than what it previously paid. The local governments say the sudden increase is forcing them to consider budget cuts. In a statement, Ontario Solicitor General says the province is in contact with the municipalities looking for solutions.
This is 680 News at 9:38. We are now a week into a strike by Canada Post workers. The union says mediated negotiations continue. The strike comes at a bad time for Canada Post, with the holiday season the busiest for the money-losing corporation. Among the key issues, the union says pay and benefits.
Well, snow made for a festive feel last night in the NFL. Not sure the players might agree, but as we hear from 680's Simon Bennett, with the wintry conditions, the Cleveland Browns pulling off an upset win.
Browns quarterback Jameis Winston is from Alabama, played his college football in Florida, broke in professionally with Tampa Bay. Now with Cleveland, this was before his first start in snow.
I am so happy and grateful that the Lord has blessed me to play in some snow, to be in true football weather.
He sounds like a 5-year-old who just got his first toboggan. Against Pittsburgh, Winston put together the late game-winning drive.
Chubb trying to take it in, and he does! Touchdown!
That in the final minute on the snowy white field as Cleveland beat the Steelers 24-19. Here's Winston again.
The snow starts pouring down. My feet start getting heavy because I'm squishing through the snow. And, man, it was so good. And it was so great to end up getting that win.
He's so happy. I'm Simon Bennett.
Coming up in 30 seconds, we'll see if there's any movement for the price of gas.
680 News Time is 9:39.
And we're back.
I gotta say, what a thrill.
Couldn't agree more, Jeff. My blood is pumping.
Canadian Blood Services needs 450 new donors every day to keep Canada's lifeline strong.
And in the final quarter of the day, we have 55 left to... What's that?
Is that a new donor?
It's a new donor.
We're at 396. Only 54 left to go.
This is the 450 challenge. Let's get Canada's blood pumping.
Book an appointment today at blood.ca/450.
Now, the 680 News Radio gas price update. Enpro predicts the price will rise 1 cent at midnight to $1.55.9 cents a liter. Coming up in 60 seconds, traffic and weather together.
680 News Time is 9:40.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
Joe and Lucy needed a new roof and reached out to Alpine Credits. I flew over to help them with a home renovation loan. I suggested they transform their house into a giant robot head, beams that shoot from the eyes. Pew, pew. Instead, they just went with shingles. But it's pretty glorious.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Just for license 12616. Save big at Shoppers Drug Mart's Black Friday Super Sale. Shop now until November 29th and enjoy big savings on the products you love. Plus, open your PC Optimum app, shop your offer, scan, and earn 20,000 points. That's a $20 value. So whether you're shopping for the holidays or your favorites, you'll find really great deals throughout the store, especially since we've dropped prices on hundreds of everyday essentials. Head to Shoppers Drug Mart for the Black Friday Super Sale. Save big, leave happy. Conditions apply. Details in store.
680 News Time is 9:41.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Craig Gear.
This report is brought to you by OLGC. Still with a crash on the eastbound 403 approaching 6 North. It's been moved off to the right lane. It's been like that for a little while. So we've got some debris that was reported by traffic spotters in the center lane. You've still got a delay from east of 6 South towards the link. A bit of a break. And then you get into the crash delays. So east of the link to approaching 6 North. So it's a real slow crawl here thanks to this crash on the eastbound 403. Toronto-bound QEW is all great. The Gardner is slow from Parkside to east of Jameson. Northbound DVP is slow approaching Lawrence up to York Mills. Southbound delays south of Finch to south of Lawrence, and the West Gardner slow west of York Bay Young towards Jameson. Ford Drive to Trafalgar slow on the west QEW as well. Westbound 401, the issue that we had on the ramp to Westney has been cleared. All lanes open. Delays Victoria Park to Avenue Road and Weston to Dixon, just in the collectors. Eastbound 401 slow Dixon to east of Keele, express and collectors, and anywhere from that little short stretch from Leslie towards the DVP. It's primarily slow in the collectors. Tonight's Lotto Max jackpot is an estimated $75 million plus an estimated 12 Max Millions. Buy tickets in store or at olg.ca. Play responsibly, 18 plus. With the forecast, Jill Taylor.
A cloudy day, on and off showers, strong gusty wind out of the north, so it'll feel colder than the guaranteed high 7 degrees. Cloudy for most of the evening, then showers after midnight, and continuing with that strong wind, 5 for the low. Some showers Saturday, the high near 8. And then Sunday should be dry, mainly cloudy, even some sunny breaks, but still a strong wind, the high 8. For today, the guaranteed high 7.
Clouds and 5 degrees right now in downtown Toronto, currently 5 degrees out at Pearson. 680 News Time, 9:43.
Meta, the parent company of Facebook, is refusing to publicly disclose information that could determine whether it's subject to the Online News Act. That's despite CRTC directions to do so.